Well, when the gavel banged last night, the first edition copy of the Constitution, one of only 13 in existence, was in the new hands for $43 million. ConstitutionDAO's 40 plus million in ETH wasn't enough to seal the deal. Joining us now to discuss is the largest contributor to the project, Yossi Hasson, co-founder and CEO of NFT investment firm Metaversal. Hi there, Yossi. It was such a shame that the Constitution DAO lost, but I'd love to hear a play-by-play of what happened last night from your end.
Yeah, it was such a shame that ultimately the DAO did not get the Constitution into the hands of the people to govern it. But the play-by-play was that we thought we were there. We had to make sure that no one actually knew who our bidder was. That was part of the stealth strategy. Having all of our transactions on-chain meant that a counter bidder would know roughly how much we could go up to. So we at least wanted to make sure that the person that we were bidding against didn't actually know that it was us. So that also caused a little bit of confusion for the DAO itself. At the end of the auction, people were asking, well, are we David? Are we Brooke in the bidding? And it took a little while for us to know that we actually did not win. But like what's being said on the show here, it's still seen as a win. In 7 days, over $49 million was actually raised. 17,000 contributors came together. You called it a flash mob.
All right, we're back with Yossi Hasson, the largest contributor of ConstitutionDAO. So, Yossi, good to have you back. You mentioned you had $49 million, so the bidding stopped at $43 million. How did you decide to stop it there? And what was your role in all of this? I mean, who's deciding, who's the bidder and how far it goes?
Yeah, 41 million was the closing bid. We had 49 million in total to be able to contribute. But with fees that go on top of the bidding price and with a document as important as this, there also needs to be some treasury available for the ongoing safekeeping and logistics involved. So that was our up. We were prepared to go until, and unfortunately, we're taken beyond that. So that's why there's a difference in the numbers. And how it worked was the ConstitutionDAO community elected who that bidder would be. Through the core multi-sig owners. That was not revealed to the broader community for the purpose of not knowing who the bidder is, and was given the mandate that they could go up till that number. And obviously, once we crossed that number, we could no longer continue in the bidding against this anonymous person who we're all speculating who this person could be.
And what exactly, the people who participate in this, what exactly were they getting for their money? Because if I understand correctly, it wasn't actually fractional ownership because that raises securities law questions, right? So was it just kind of like a donation? Was it just to sort of participate in the process?
Yeah, it was not a security, so you weren't getting a piece of the Constitution. You don't own the Constitution. You were getting the right to govern it. And what that means is you were given the right to have a say in how this document continues to live. Where will it get showcased? Which museum will we potentially take it to? Is there any artistic collaborations that could be done with it? Potentially creating some kind of experience in the metaverse for other people to be able to interact with it who aren't necessarily able to access a museum. All of those decisions of how to bring the story of the Constitution to life would be in the hands of the people who contributed towards it. So it's really about the governance and ongoing safekeeping and education of what the Constitution has really been trying to tell us, and that story for the past 200 odd years. And now for the first time, allowing the people to be able to be part of that narrative moving forward.
And what, in your view, was the most challenging part of this process? Like, just there, I'm sure there were many things, but I mean, just any kind of decentralized process is going to hit roadblocks. What were the hardest things to manage here?
Hardest thing to manage was most likely the kind of inbound excitement that happens so quickly. This is a group of people strangers that didn't know each other on Thursday, rallying together with this mission and got worldwide press, worldwide attention. The Discord group grew to over 18,000 people in a really short period of time. Initially, on Monday and late on Tuesday, there was only $4 million in contribution, and we thought we needed to get to 20 at least in order to have a standing chance. So it looked like maybe we weren't even going to get there, and from there, things just spiraled, and we managed to get to that $49 million number 24 hours later, and coordinating that at scale is quite a challenge. There were 39 core contributors who really didn't sleep, eat, or drink anything other than ConstitutionDAO, and thousands of people who backgrounds in PR, website building, access to managing communities and groups, all lended their hand to be part of this, which was remarkable. What's also remarkable is that the technology that needed to make this happen already all existed. It wasn't like there was much that needed to be built. We used a platform called Juicebox to be able to get all the Ethereum contributions made, and that was already available, and you could see that publicly and transparently. The multi-sig, which means that there were multiple people who would sign off any transaction, was controlled by 13 people who were nominated by the DAO. That technology already existed. And the ability, if one, to be able to convert every contribution into a token that then gives you a vote, that technology existed as well. So that's what really allowed something to be able to spring up in 7 days and be able to do something like this.
Did having the world know pretty much how much money went into this DAO before the bidding began, did that put you at a disadvantage going up against another entity that can keep its cards to itself and not show its hand? Do you think that a little bit of game theory went into play here and actually worked against you?
Yeah, there's two ways to look at it. We thought, going out with a statement of let's put the Constitution in the hands of the people, and we have over $40 million to do that on a historical document that was valued at between 15 to 20 million, and would be the all-time high sale for a document of this nature. We thought that strategy would potentially dissuade anyone from trying to bid against the people. Unfortunately, that strategy didn't play out, and someone was willing to pay more than that. Ultimately, though, that we also see as a success, because that $41 million is going to a charitable donation to further the education of the Constitution, and that well-needed money to worthwhile causes to do that. So, in effect, that document could have sold for a lot less without ConstitutionDAO, and that money wouldn't have gone to the causes that are being backed here as well. So, ultimately, a success all around.
Do you have any inkling of who the winner might be? And just saying that ConstitutionDAO would have won, what would they have done with the Constitution? There were some rumors that, they would burn it and in a kind of a live performance-like way and turn it into an NFT.
Yeah, I think those rumors were quickly put down by the majority of the members in the DAO. This is an iconic historical document that we would most want to treat with the respect that it deserves and not burn it and just turn it into an NFT. Although there were conversations about how could we turn something like the constitutional document into an NFT so that more people could experience it or have access to it or be part of this historical movement. The major conversation was around how to further the education of this document and move it around the world and allow other people to understand the story of how they too could govern it. Having a QR code at every exhibit that allows someone to then see that they could purchase a people token that will give them the rights to govern this, and being able to be part of that experience. Trying to make the experience more immersive. What could that look like? How could we bring someone into the shoes of the founding fathers at that moment and have those kind of debates in an immersive world at the signing of the Constitution? And doing that type of process. Those were the kind of conversations that were getting much more attention, and every proposal would have needed to be brought to the DAO. So there was no answers to it. The focus was really in the 7 days that we had, let's go out, raise enough money to
Any idea who the winner is?
No idea who the document winner is. There is speculation that it could be one or two crypto whales, but I don't want to add fuel to the rumors on who that person could be until we...
It's not Vladimir Putin.
It's definitely not Vladimir Putin.
But so now that you've shown that this could be possible, do you have your eyes set on anything else? I mean, like, what's the Magna Carta doing? I mean, what else are you doing besides the Constitution? Like, do you have any other ideas of let's say historic items that could be saved, or other things of cultural value that maybe perhaps can get a flash mob, if you will, behind it? Anything going on right now?
Well, the mission of
that you have your eyes
the
set?
mission of Metaversal is to invest in what we call infinite stories that are a reflection of our culture, and that's why we were so excited about getting behind ConstitutionDAO and being one of the largest contributors to it. And our view is that this is going to become part and parcel of how our historical artifacts and culture is collected and jointly governed and owned by much larger pools of people. So this experiment really showed the world that this is possible, that people around the world, for something that is culturally relevant to them, is of historical significance, is wanted to be owned and governed by the masses and not necessarily safeguarded only by institutions or museums or a couple of high net worth crypto whales around the world who are probably bidding against us.
And what's going to happen with the $49 million that was raised?
49 million will be returned to everyone who contributed. So that was done in Ethereum. So that ETH will be returned to any of the contributors. There is some conversation about taking the movement ConstitutionDAO and potentially looking at creating a metaverse constitution and seeing what that could look like. But that's not going to involve any of the funding for this particular cause. But there are conversations about other causes that ConstitutionDAO could get behind.